Hello friends, my name is Alexey. I'm really happy to see you in this tutorial. Today we are going to design this mobile app in Figma. We are not going to create all the screens for it, we will also connect them all into a clickable prototype. I will show you how to use the Figma Smart Animate feature, so keep watching, don't go anywhere, let's begin. Jumping into Figma and creating a new file. I always love this moment because it's like starting a new journey. You never know where it takes you. Let's call it mobile app. And first of all, we are starting with selecting the size of your artboard. In our case, I suggest to choose the latest iPhone Pro artboard size. This first screen we will call welcome. And I will import all the images that I will need in this project. I will share it with you in the description. So there is a bunch of images that I generated in Midjourney and some icons that we'll need for our app. Continuing with welcome screen, we'll have an image at the top. I think the 40 height will be enough. The image that I will use will be the mountain, this one. So what I do, I take a screenshot with Command Ctrl Shift 4 on Mac. And now I just select this layer and Command V, paste, and we have this beautiful image. I want the background of the app to be dark, to be something like this. So there is not much visible gap between the top image and this section. What I need on the welcome screen, some text and a button to start. Let's add some text. How do we call the app? Yeah, let's call it Horizon Quest. So welcome to Horizon Quest. I would like to select another font, and one of the fonts that I liked recently called Plus Jakarta Sans. And the size of the welcome text will be 20, 40 pixels from the image above, 30 from the side, and another bunch of text which is bigger. Let's say here, travel the mountain like never before. And I want this text to be a text box, so I resize it to have the same 30 pixels from left and right. Here I can type -2 and it will have the value that I want. But I want this text to be much bigger, maybe 64, no, that's too much. 48 sounds and looks reasonable, but maybe a bit less line height. Let's use pixels instead. 60 px, still a lot. 56 looks fine. And now let's create the get started button. Font size 24, line height auto. Yeah, let's add it to auto layout, Shift A, and we'll swap the font color and the button color. So the font color will be this dark and the button fill will be white. I would like to have padding left and right of 20 and top to bottom 12, or maybe I will increase later. And yeah, the corner radius 40, so it's fully round on left and right. And I would like to have an icon here the same color. Actually, you know what? I will add this color to our color library, so we don't have to pick the color all the time. Let's call it dark blue. We want to create a variable. I have a different tutorial on variables, which you can access from the link above, but after this tutorial. And I want to give the entire button width of 240, and I want this text and icon to be distributed to the edges of the container. So I select Auto. I think the button font might be better, and let's add some top and bottom padding. 16, yeah, 16 looks okay. 32, 20, okay, good. We have our first screen, welcome screen. I think it looks really nice, and we can move on to the second screen. Let's select this, hold Alt and drag to copy this screen. Maybe let's leave this one, and I will show you how I would like to have a really nice background. So I create a layer on top of everything, give it the same dark blue. I would like to add an effect to this layer. It will be a background blur, and for this background blur to be visible, I need to change the fill opacity to 90. So now you can see that this image is behind, but it's still not blurry enough, so we'll change the value to 40. Yeah, and it's really nice now, because you cannot say what that is, and it still has some feeling of the first screen. Always rename your layers, because it will help you in the future to navigate through your project, and when you hand over the project to developers, it will help them even more than you, because you are the creator and you know how your project is structured, but no one else does. So please rename all the layers. It will show you as a good designer, as a professional. Now let's have a title. What experience are you looking for? Let's call it like this, and let's start creating textiles. So for this I will call it H1. For the bottom I will call it, let's do H2, but this might be changed, and this guy will be H3. This title I would like to try H3 and make a text box. What I think is that on the screens with a lot of content we can do a different padding. Instead of 30 pixels like we have it on the welcome screen, we can have 24, so all the clickable content has more room to display all the necessary information. And I will start creating boxes with our different experiences. I would like it to be 24. And for this guy I would like to have something darker than our main color. Yep, something like this. Corner radius 20. And let's copy this one, and this will be our image placeholder, and I think 4 pixels from each side will be enough. The card size, let's make it bigger, 132. And there is a good rule: if you have objects with rounded corners, the object that is inside has to have a corner radius of this outer object minus the distance to that outer object. So in our case it will be 20 minus 4. And you see, in this case it's nicely rounded together with this one, looks perfect. Just the size should be the same, so it's a square. Let's rename the layers, card BG, and let's put the text inside, copy paste. The first experience will be hiking. Now it's a text box because I copied it from here. How to get rid of text box? You select this resizing auto width instead. And we'll have the number of offers, 16 offers, but the color will be, let's just give it some transparency. You can change the opacity by pressing the buttons on your keyboard. 8 for 80, but I think it's not enough. Yeah, 50 looks good. However, I want to change the text size as well. 16 looks better here, and let's assign it the text style of 16 will be our body text. Now I want to put these two layers into auto layout. Shift A and give it vertical spacing of 8. Select our image box and align them vertically. The size between them is 20, maybe decrease it to 16. You can change the object position by pressing the arrow keys on your keyboard, and if you hold Shift, it will change 10 pixels instead of 1 pixel. And to see all these measurements, all these distances between objects, I hold Alt key. Another thing is price. Let's say something from 25 bucks. This will be a smaller text, so let's detach it, make it 14, and it will be right alignment, so whatever I put here, it will always be right aligned in the box. This text style I will call small text. And the last thing that I need here is the button with an arrow. I will use this icon that we already have, and I will also put it into auto layout, Shift A, but I would like to use some red color for the feel. This one is good. Maybe let's try this one, a bit lighter. And for button to look like circle, let's add the equal padding, vertical and horizontal. Too much. Make it 14. Wait, what happened? Okay. So before that, the icon was inside the frame, which is 24 by 24, but when I wrapped it with the auto layout container, the frame for some reason has disappeared. So I'll just copy paste the arrow icon one more time, give it a white color value, and now we have equal width and height. Now it looks a lot, no, even less, 8, yeah, 40 by 40 is a good value. Looks quite cool. Let's make the distance from the corner 8 pixels from the right edge and 8 pixels from the bottom edge. It's better this way, in my opinion. And let's edit some drop shadow, but the color of this drop shadow will be the same red. So it will create a kind of glow effect. change the opacity to 20. Yeah, now you can see this very subtle glow effect. How to put images into this box? Same way as you did with this one. You just find suitable image for hiking. Yep, this one looks quite nice. Take a screenshot, something like this. Select this box again and paste the image. Now we have our first card ready. I would like to select all the elements, group this card, Command G, and name it card 1. Now all we need is to create multiple cards, and this is easily done by pressing Command D, which creates another instance, and I will have a distance of 16. For easier creation, I will add these cards into auto layout, Shift A, add cards, and now I select card 2, press Command D multiple times, and we have multiple cards. For these cards that go beyond the artboard to be visible, I just need to uncheck this clip content when the artboard is selected. Let's rename all of them. Great, we have our content. All we need is just to find suitable images, copy pasting like we've already did. Wonderful, we have all the cards. I just think we need to add one last thing on this screen, is some kind of icon for the app menu, because every app home screen has either the tab bar menu or burger menu, and for this purpose I will copy paste this icon, but I will remove the effect and I will change the fill to white, but with some opacity, and the icon I will change to this dots icon. You select what you want to replace and then press Command Shift R, and it's nicely replaced, the old object is removed. I want the distance from the top to be 64, because it's a good distance for the iPhone 14 Pro, because this dynamic island won't cover anything in this case, and the distance from cards to the title is 24. Alright, let's create our third screen. What happens when we click on some of these cards? This will be our third screen. We duplicate, Command D, this will be removed. The title, which one do we choose from here? Let's choose mountain biking. Copy the title, paste it here, remove the text box, center alignment, and align it in the center of the screen. Good. And we need the back icon instead. I will replace the icon with this back arrow. Shift R, change the name to back. Now I would like to have a mountain map here, something schematic. I will put an image inside this screen. This map looks nice. And on top of this map I want to have different pins which will show us the different offers for mountain biking, different starting points. This pin icon, and I will put it all over our map. These are the starting points for our biking. Yeah, 5 offers, 5 pins. I will group it into one map group, and I would like to have some gradient on top of it, which nicely blends the map into the background. And as we've already jumping further from this welcome screen, I think no need to have this blur effect and the image in the background, and I will have this nice gradient. We select this color with the opacity of 100, and we pick this color again but with opacity of 0, and now you see how this map nicely disappears. The first point, I think it should be already selected. We forgot to add this color to our library. That's not good. And change the pin size to 40 by 40. We can now clip the content. I would like to have some horizontal slider for all the offers, so we can select them and they will be shown on the map. Let's create a text layer for our title, offers, left alignment. The offers, they will be just smaller cards. I think we can have 160 by 100. Again, the same corner radius. Let's call it black, because it's almost black. This background color will be black. The distance to the title 16. Let's make it 20, because we'll have another icon here. It will push everything a bit down. And here I would like to copy this auto layout thing for the offer name and difficulty, easy, and the name will be Coral Creek. And again, this will be the price of this offer in the top corner, and now it will be the exact price, not from but 45. And now we see this problem that there's not much space between these guys. Let's have at least 8 or maybe even 10, and in this case we need to increase the size of this box to 120. Should be enough. Select all of them, group them, and call it offer 1. Now I duplicate, move a little bit, and change the price, change the name to something like Old Mine Trail. Difficulty is hard. And as we did with the previous set of cards, we select them, add to auto layout, call them offers, and we need to show all the content because we'll be creating more, 5 in total. Change the pricing.
60, 75, 45.
And the names will be waterfalls. Alright, we have all of them. What I would like to do now is to somehow show that this first offer is selected. Let's add some stroke, 2 pixels, the color red. So this means that on the map we see this offer right now. And it would be good to somehow highlight the price, because actually, how do we book this offer? So when it's selected, the price is highlighted and is changed to book for 45 bucks. So we'll do something like this with let's add it to auto layout with the background of red, smaller padding. But what I would like to change here is this corner radius. So if we click this independent corner icon, we'll get the control of all corners of our element. This is top left, this value is for top right, and they go like this clockwise. So we need to change these two to 0 and 0. And for this thing to touch the edge, we need to increase the right padding to something like 14. Good. The text inside won't have any different opacity than 100. And I would like to get rid of this corner that goes beyond the box. How to do this? We'll copy this background and we'll make it a mask. So we select both the copied background, the button, right click and use as mask. Now you see we have this mask group and the button has nice edges. I promised to add a button next to offers. I want to keep my promise. Let's do that. What do you think this button will do? I think it would be nice to have a list view instead of this slider view. We have such icon in our library. Let's replace this one. Good, and some final touches. I want to add more information about this offer at the bottom. Something like the total distance, the height difference. I think it would be nice to have it here. Let's have 2 boxes. One will be red and another one will be, I hold Alt and drag the item. Another one will be white. And I think let's have a bit more difference between them. Plus 20, moving up to create some visual difference. And for this guy we'll have 20 corner radius on the right edge. Actually, let's make it 32. And for this guy, 42 on the left corner. Yep. And let's copy this text inside the box. And this will be our distance, something like 17.4 kilometers. make sure it's 24 from the left edge, 32 from the top. Looks good. Let's add another one. And copy this text, but we need to change the text color to something dark, and it will be height. So value here, but it will be in meters. Let's group these two elements called distance and height. Great, we have all the screens ready and we will be animating them right now. Exciting. Alright, now let's jump to animating. And for animation we need to prepare all the screens. So I want to have the second state of this screen with offers. Rename it offers 1, offers 2, and on this screen we'll have the different things selected. The Smart Animate feature will animate everything for us. For example, what I do here. On the second screen the pin goes back to its normal size of 32 by 32 and gets the color back, the gray one. And for example, I want this dark canyon to be selected, which is number 4 on our map. And I want the map to slightly move to the right, revealing the rest of the mountain, like this. Now I want to make sure that Dark Canyon is selected, and I will delete the mask group from here and place it here instead. Wait. Yep. Same with the background, the card background style. I want it to be selected. I apply this thing, the old price we don't need anymore. And make sure that it's 12 pixels from the top, 16 pixels from the right edge. And I will copy the layer style from here, which is Option Command C, and apply this layer style to this background of the card, which is Command Option V. I forgot one thing, is the price should come back to its initial position. Okay, now let's start from the very beginning. What happens when we click the Get Started button? We select this prototype tab. The iPhone 14 Pro is already selected. So we select the element that we need to become active, and we get on each edge we get these icons that you can click. We click and drag to the screen that we want to go after this one. But instead of instant, we change to Smart Animate, and let's change it to 800 milliseconds, which is still less than 1 second. What the Smart Animate feature does, it applies all the value changes to all the items on the screen. So for example, we don't have these cards on this screen, so it will appear here instantly. But what I want to do, I want to copy this set of cards, paste it here, but I want to move it far down so it's not even visible. They will appear from below. Same with this title and the icon. I paste them here, but I move them up. So when we move from this screen to this screen, the title and the icon will appear from above and the cards will appear from below. You will see a bit later the effect. And now this blur layer, I also want to have it here, but I want it to be completely invisible. What happens with these elements when we go to this screen? They need to go away, but not just disappear instantly. We want them to disappear in a smooth way. So we copy and paste them here and change the opacity to 0. I will show you how it looks like. So now you can see our design nicely wrapped in the foam. Click get started and you see how smoothly everything appears. And we can quickly detect our mistakes. The button is still there and it was pretty slow. It's only the issue with the button text. So actually, you know what? We'll select all this text and the button and it will slide to the right like this. Let's take a look again. Nice. All I need is to change the transition time to 500 milliseconds. I hit R key on my keyboard to refresh. Nice, nice. Let's just try one more thing. Is in instead of is out. Cool. Now it's exactly what I wanted. How to make this thing scrollable on the screen? For this you need to select the screen and select the scroll behavior vertical. Now you can scroll. The only little thing that I want to change is the bottom, the distance from the bottom edge when you hit the end of the list. And for this to change, I want to give this entire cards auto layout container a bottom padding of 40. Now if we go here back, we see that there is some space. Cool. What happens next? When we tap the mountain biking, we go to this screen. Let's select the mountain biking, prototype, click here and drag it all the way to this screen. But the difference is that we won't have smart animate, we will have slide in. So you see the preview how this will slide in. Let's check it. The speed might be a bit faster. So what works nicely with smart animate, maybe not that good with slide in. Yeah, this is nice. And when we click the back button, we want to go back to this screen, but instead of having this order, we will slide from that order. And actually let's change it from slide in to move in. And one final touch is it's important to have this reset scroll position, because if we scrolled to the very bottom of the screen, go to this screen and go back, it will be at the bottom, which is not really nice in the prototype. This get started is still in our way. Cool. That's really nice. All we need to do is to make this thing scrollable. I will show you how it is done. So we have this offers auto layout component. We click the right mouse button and we frame this selection. It's now inside a frame, and I want to change this frame size to be same on the left and right, 24 and 24, and do the same with these offers as well. And we now have this frame selected. Let's go to prototype and overflow, scrolling horizontal. Another thing is I want this dark canyon to be clickable, and it will lead to this screen. And again, now it will be the smart animate feature, because the map will nicely move from one position to the other. Same when the Coral Creek is selected, it will go back here. Smart animate is in. Let's try it out. Now it's scrollable. Very good. The map moves nicely, but something happens to the slider. Let's find out. Okay, I found the issue. When you make the smart animation, make sure that the items that will be animated have the same names. So scroll offers, previously it was frame 3, frame 4, now it works exactly as it meant to be. And one final thing is that let's change these values for distances to something like 20.5 kilometers and bigger height, because the difficulty is medium instead of easy, something has to be bigger. Let's check our prototype from the very beginning. Nice. This is amazing, right? Cool. We made it in less than 1 hour. If you guys have any questions about how to use Figma on a beginner's level, I have a different tutorial on how to create a web design in Figma, where I explain all the keystrokes. You can see the link to this tutorial above. I'm very glad that you made it till the end. Very proud of you. Don't hesitate to hit the like button if you like this tutorial. That's what I call time well spent. We created a really nice looking mobile app together. If you have any questions left, don't hesitate to ask them in the comment section, and also share all your designs and Figma links. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and see you in the next video.